Hey guys, I wanted to come back up here because I saw Miss D in the chat, and I want her to come up here for a second. And any of the KSOC community who want to promote something coming up next, I want you to come. Miss D, if you are in the chat, come on up because I want people to know, like Miss D, she supports everybody, and so we need to be able to support each other. Anytime that I say, hey, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I don't, but anytime I say, hey, Miss D, um, I'm going over this subject tonight. She always comes, she be like, I'm coming, I'm coming. There's never a time where she says she's not coming. Or if I'm coming on live, I don't know, Miss D may have a busy schedule, and she'll still come up or whatever and support. Just the whole community behind closed doors are very supportive. So Miss D, if you are in the chat, I need you to come up because I need people to know that Miss D is out there. Miss D, I think she has, I don't know, almost 100 subs. We need to get Miss D to 500 subs. We need to get So Pretty to 500 subs. We need to get Tula Play to 500 subs. We need to continue to KSAP, simply ball dropping. Listen, I know his subscriptions are going to soar. It's going to be off the chain. It's going to be like a dominant effect for all of us. Watch what I tell you. So make sure you sub to Simply Ball Dropping podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the Full Court Trio podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the Players Club Live podcast. Make sure you put Players Club Live podcast in, and it'll pop right up. If not, you're going to get the regular Players Club with Miss Diamond. Okay. And make sure you support Cut the Ish Real Talk. Make sure you support Steady Serving ENT. Um, make sure you I think Tulip Plays is just Tulip Plays. Make sure So Pretty Tony, Court Vision. Make sure you support her channel. We will continue to drop our links across the community, in the chats. And we want everybody to win, guys. So please like, share, and subscribe to these channels. These people are putting their heart, is hard. It's like blood, sweat, and tears into these podcasts behind the scenes like you ain't never seen before. What you think is easy and look easy to everybody else, it's not as easy behind closed doors because you're trying to find the right layout, the right, you know, thumbnail. You're trying to look, you gotta get your layout together. You gotta make sure you got your music on. You gotta make sure you got your full setup. You want your intro, your outro. Well, I just added an outro, so work with me, guys. There's a little jazz, little band on it, but just work with me. But you want to change that up, you know what I'm saying, every so often. But we are here together as a team, so we need to build together as a team, which we're already doing, because God put KSAP in this position to help his people in a way like you guys never seen before. When I say you guys do not have no idea the heart of this man to take the time out, you know what I'm saying, and the support of his wife and his family to take the time out to share his gifts and helping other people to see their visions and soar. You guys have no idea. And I'm sorry, I had to come back because I saw Miss D in the chat and I had got off. But I just want you guys to know we need to support each other. The way we grow together is we support each other. And I'm not talking about just the KSAT community behind closed door. I'm talking about you, chat. I don't care. For me, I don't care what you going through. If you need to come on this podcast, if you need to come in the KSOC community, you come in there because you're gonna get love, sports. You're gonna get unity. We're gonna look. We may not agree or disagree, but you're gonna get that family life. You know what I'm saying, in a chat. And we have to think outside of the box. Some people say, "Oh, I never met this person. How you know this or how you know that or whatever, and how you praying for this person or how you standing for this person." We love God, we love Jesus, we never seen them. You know what I'm saying? And they're my day one from A1. Look, and so you saying that to say what? It doesn't matter if we're in person. The heart of the people, the genuine people, They can see people in the chat. We see you, chat. We thank you, chat, for coming in. We thank you for helping us. Anytime we come on these podcasts, guys, you guys are in there, and then you stand 10 toes down for us. That's real. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta start thinking outside the box. We gotta stop thinking jealous, envy, and strife against each other. And just come together in the YouTube community overall. If I win, you win. But you in life, when you are doing the right things, you're gonna be hit with different storms. But you gotta know, after those storms, God got your back. You are going to soar. So I want, from the chat to the KSAP community, I want you guys to continue to stand on your business. I promise you, your labor will not go in vain. Just keep up the good work. I don't see Miss D coming in there, guys. So hey, maybe I just need to come up here. She probably popped up and say ADP gone already. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to say, like, just make sure that we not just think about that first person will get you in trouble every time. Make sure that we think in second and third person, because this could be you today and something could be different tomorrow. So let's continue to join together and let's continue to support each other, right? And so, okay, so today, guys, I am taking little Case in. We're gonna take him to the park, take him to the soccer park. We're gonna have a good fun day. My son, my oldest son, he's going to jitsu, and my daughter and I saw my daughter and my grandbaby yesterday. So we can ready to have a fun day, because I know Keisha getting ready to come on today. The Players Club is coming on today. Make sure you guys watch. I'll be watching that, so it'll probably be after that where I take Kason for his fun day or whatever and stuff like that, because it's hot as a sauna here. And ADP we got to make sure we got the juice, the water, the everything when we come out here. We might well just wear out. Never mind. I'm getting ready to say swim clothes out here, but or whatever. But I'm gonna continue to support everybody. And I just love God's people. And I know I put others before myself a lot of times, because I know God got my back. Hey, big girl, how are you? I went on one live and just was letting everybody know what is coming next for ADP Art Creations. And then I saw Miss D, so I came back, and because I wanted Miss D to, come up and talk about her podcast and what she's planning to do next and stuff. So, we can get her subs up. So we're gonna continue to, do our lives. We're gonna continue to support each other. We're gonna continue to drop our links, in the chats or whatever, so that, because we know with one person win, we all win, right, big girl? And I don't even know, big girl, I didn't start to come up here this morning. God just put it on my heart Okay, I'm back and running. I don't know what is going on today. Because I guess, look, StreamYard shocked and I'm shocked that I'm up here this early. But yeah, so we just need all just continue to, like I said, work together and everything, and represent for the KSAP community, because I'm a firm believer. Somebody take the time out to show you something and to help you. The least you could do is do right by it, because good help and great respect and great heart and genuine hearts, you're not going to find that in everybody. You're not going to find that in, everybody that you see. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that, you want to put the work behind it. You want to put the work in. If you don't want to work, this is not for you. Because when I say this is blood, sweat, and tears type of work, it is. I love it. At first, I was nervous and starting my podcast. I was real nervous, and every now and then I still get a little nervous or whatever. But for the most part, I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? The more and more I do, like Elle was coaching, she was a motivation coach, and she'll send me a message or whatever. Since I'm back, big girl was also texting, sending inspiration. And even when people in the chat be like, hey ADP, I watched it live, I didn't catch you but I still watched it, or hey ADP, you got a great show, or whatever, that means a lot. It's not taken for granted, and that's all because God used KSAP to pour into everybody that's in this community, and he knew the ones that were going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody coming to this where you're going to see them continue to do it, because it's no joke, and they might have other stuff in their life they got to take care of. But for me, I wanted to use this opportunity. Sorry guys. I wanted to use this opportunity or whatever to market my artwork. But people think artwork is just about pictures or product. No, art is your heart, the heart of the woman, the heart of the man. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that, you're not inside of a box. You can come like this, you can come like that. Like I'm coming with sports, I'm coming with testimonies, I'm coming with I'm going to come with the teacher spot, visual aids. There's a lot of educators out there, not just educators in the school, educators in the home. You know what I'm saying? And you never know. You produce an idea or give them tips. All they need is a little starting point, like the bubble. You just need your starting point, and then you connect the rest of your bubbles to it. We might have to break down and do some bubble maps up here. What is your agenda? What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? Who are you? Hey, B Will. I was just coming up here just telling everybody what's next. And my first clip, I was getting ready to get off and I saw Miss D up there. So I wanted Miss D to come up here so we can continue to work together and, promote our channels, and no shade to anybody in the YouTube streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, we come together. It's like, if I win, you win. And I just want people to know that God allowed KSAP to pour into all of us, and we were willing to listen. And this is what you guys will continue to see. And little old me, I didn't know going on KSAP's podcast that I won't have a podcast. I was just thinking, I'm just going up there because I love the sport. So this is where life comes in. And it's like, you'd be like, oh, I'm going to such and such party. You think you're just going to a party, but sometimes what you're going to is bigger than what you think. You might be a blessing to somebody. You might be a testimony. You might be the ear that someone needs to listen. It's always something connected to where you're supposed to be. So, and moving forward, I'm letting everybody know what kind of style of, what I'm coming with for us, the, WNBA players, football, NBA players. Mine is going to be more of testimonies and the backstories of the players on and off the court, right? And also I'll be, sharing like little testimonies and educational tips and different stuff like that. So I know in a minute, I don't know. I think we got an early game today, so I'll be be going on to the Players Club. This is how we do. Like, I always check and say who's going, you know what I'm saying, who's going on what time, so we don't clash, so we can come together. But in order to be a leader or do whatever you have to do, you got to be willing to follow, because it's always someone better. It's always someone better, or whatever. Not, I ain't gonna say so much better, but it got a different style. You know what I'm saying? So I think with our podcasters and this community, we just gotta continue to pour into each other, guys. You guys don't see the behind the scenes stuff. You don't see the big girls and the L's and the K-Steps and the Bro Claude and Brooke and all of them. You don't see them. When I'll never forget anybody that's ever encouraged me in life, I will never forget it. And I'll make sure that I represent, because they took out the time to say, hey, when Brooke started sending my art products, he was like, ADP, you could do this. And one thing you guys know, somebody from New York, they standing on business. They got that business aspect because they see the vision in you, right? So this stuff don't just happen overnight. And he brings certain people together to do these certain things. And sometimes we may get busy. We may not be able to come on every night, but look, if you hungry, you're going to want to eat, right? So this is what building a podcast is all about. This is what we're doing day and night. I'm on D Block because I got, I have my granddaughter, my well, I don't have her, but she be with my little 7-year-old and my oldest son or whatever, and then my daughter or whatever. So I have 3, and then one, the twin is in heaven. So I have a schedule during the day. I got a senior, guys, another senior. And, so I'm working on that stuff too during the day. I homeschool my youngest. So, and then I come up here and I'm like, I do a podcast, it'll be on D Block hour, because it's that time where I'm able to everybody shut down, everybody sleep, everything's good, it's quiet, you know what I'm saying? And I can just breathe and be able to produce a podcast in a way that everybody gets an understanding of where I'm coming from. And you can't be lazy. You can't be lazy on something like this. You got to be determined. This is something that you want to do. yeah, be Will. Be Will. Let me tell you, it's been like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in my 40s or whatever, and I have been working since I was 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? This is like, this last year to this year is the first time where I had to sacrifice for my 7-year-old, because he has autism or whatever. So, we got to get that speech and we got to get that OT in. So I'm taking him there too, because I'm a type of person. You can never say for ADP kids that she didn't never do what was best for her kids, or she didn't go and fight the back. OT and speech is expensive, and when you got somebody taking care of that, you need to go and make sure your child is there. So I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? My son just told me yesterday, be real, like, he wanted to go to prom and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Everything just keep getting crazy or whatever. But the good thing about my 17-year-old is that he's going to be able to take 2 classes this semester, and he'll start his college courses next semester, right? So that's a good thing. And he straight up, he learns on his own. He's self-taught, straight A's, Be Will, and big girl. So I don't even have to dig outside my brain, because look, I can do pre-K, elementary and stuff like that, but when you start getting into talking about what was he doing? He was doing he wasn't doing trig. I forgot the math he was doing, but I couldn't do that math. It's past trig what he was doing. I was like, oh no. I was like, I'm hoping, you know what I'm saying, that I don't have to be the tutor or get him a tutor for that. But he self-taught, straight A's, and then he was trying to run from it and said, oh, Mom, I don't think I need this class. I'm going to drop it. No, I know what you can do. You keep going, right? So that's my busy life schedule. So, and I've noticed that, like, in the community, they have jobs. They have busy schedules. K-Sun now have busy schedules. So when they take the time out and they produce these podcasts and this content, it's a lot, and they have supportive families to back them up. When you got the right support system for something like this, it works. And we just gotta appreciate it, and moving forward and stuff like that, because YouTube is taking over. I don't even watch my don't laugh, guys. I don't watch my Murder She Wrote. I used to watch Murder She Wrote about 12, right, midnight. We watch it, and Hallmark. I'm a Hallmark person, so I would watch Hallmark or whatever and stuff like that. But since the communicates that community, Keisha, Broke Light, everybody be going live, that's my TV. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm in the car, that's my surround sound, or whatever. Besides, my motivation and inspiration and stuff like that. So basically, it's just like we have a plan. God has a plan, and He doesn't just put people together for no reason. But what I love about having a podcast and being a part of the KSOP community is that the chat, the people we encounter, because you never know what you're going through, and somebody in the chat need that word, or they'll need that inspiration. And what we thought we was coming together for just sports, God wound up building a big community, and He used KSOP to do it. And it had to be someone who's unselfish to do it. Oh, it is a lot. I've been okay. So B Will said he's been wanting to do it for some sorry, B Will. He said he been wanting to do some content, but he don't know where to find the time. B Will. Even listen. Even if this is how I'm gonna tell you from the teacher of KSAP, how KSAP taught me when he was helping me through or whatever. Start doing like 2 minute, 3 minute. Because one thing about KSAP, he know the people. Like, he know me. I'm nervous, be real. Like, I used to be nervous going on KSAP podcast. But when I started doing my podcast or whatever, I started being comfortable. And the minute I started being comfortable, I'm like, oh man, I'm getting up here left and right now, because I'm watching Keisha, Broke Light, and KSAP and Brooke. I'm watching how they grind. I remember watching Broke Clyde and Brooke when they had one or two people, or they didn't have no people, you know what I'm saying, helping them out. But be Will, you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. Let that be, okay, you might have to split it up. You know how you have your little me time or your comfort time? Take that me time and put it on the podcast, because you don't have to be inside of a box. You can be like, hey, we're gonna talk about whatever God put on your heart to talk about. You talk about it. It may start off being sports, and it may start off being a testimony, or it may start off uplifting or helping somebody out. You do that. If it's in your heart to do it, be Will. It just didn't happen. God put that in your heart to do it, so you do it. You know what I'm saying? I support. I mean, I'm trying to catch, and I apologize to my Brooke, or whatever, by not spending that time over there, But one thing about Brooklyn I like is that he understands or whatever. But for me, I'm genuine. When I support, I stay 10 toes down, and I continue to support. If I'm not there, I'll go back and watch and let you know. But yeah, take 2 to 3 minutes. Do a 2 to 3 minute video, short, clip, whatever. You could be in the car, you could be at the restaurant. It doesn't matter, be Will. Take them 2 to 3 minutes, start off. I promise you, if you present it, people will follow. You know what I'm saying? And I always say, before I start my shows and I start my podcast, because you don't never know how it's going to go, I say, God, you be at the front of it. You know what I'm saying? You take care of everything, because you're going to receive some little haters in there. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I can say, when me and Miss D were going live, and we yeah, I love me some Brooke too, and I gotta be on point. I gotta go apologize because that's another one of my brothers too. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stand on point with everything. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all can do it. Brooklyn was talking about it for a while doing his podcast, and finally he did his podcast. Then Broke Claw, all of them just taking out the time to hear people testimonies of how they got there, because you got to remember, Be Will, You could save somebody's life. You can be an example for somebody. You can say one thing and it changed that person's life. I'm telling you what I know because I be in that chat and I watch all these people. That's why you see me. I always speak to everybody in the chat because everybody has a story, and they'll be in that chat. You'll see their testimonies. You'll see they having a hard day, or they'll say stuff. And when you're on the panel, you can't always catch those stories and you can't always catch those testimonies, right? But when you are in that chat, you see a lot of things. Yeah, we disagree and agree, but you see a lot in that chat. You know what I'm saying? If you paying attention or whatever. So you'll hear people testimonies, you hear them going back and forth, but then at the end of the day, they understand each other, right? So that's what we got to do. Are you gonna when you do your podcast? Are you gonna talk about sports? Or are you gonna talk about just different things? Be Will. Yeah, big girl. I made it back. You know, the minute you start talking about God or something like that, you know, maybe I didn't look. I didn't feel like coming up here, but I said it's something. After I did my motivation, I said I need to come up here. You know what I'm saying? I need to come up here. Let people know what's coming up next. Let them continue to know who you are. You know, I'm on D Block, strictly D Block, guys. I don't come in the daytime or whatever and mess around. But I watched like K-Sat came on, big girl. I missed the first episode of it, but he came on last night. But I caught the last hour and some minutes of it. So thank God for that. And he came on. Look how God is using him to come on that time, and he had over 100 people, and it's in the AM. It's straight up D Block. If I get into it, I will talk about women's basketball, women's MMA. That would be good. Be Will, listen, when you get into it, because you putting it out, you see the receipts you're dropping. It's already set up, Be Will. It's just a matter of time. I know it's going to be on God's timing, and if this is something you want to do, you let it be known. One thing about God, if nobody else have your back, he do. And if he put that in you to talk about women's basketball or women's MMA, do that, because everybody's style is different. We just come together. We on topic with the same type of thing, but our chemistry is built different, and that's what helps a community grow together. That's what makes us stand out, because we're coming together on different things, but we're different people. You know what I'm saying? We have different characters. Yeah, start with pre-recording. That's what I told him. Oh yeah, he could do that too, big girl. He could pre-record when he do have a little time and just drop it, Be Will. That's how you could do it too. You can do like your premieres, or you could whatever, but you pre-record it, you just you save your video, and hey, I don't want to go live this day, or I don't want to go live this week. Drop those recorded videos and then run some clips off of it until you get ready and have the time to go live. You know, because I know we all got busy schedules and stuff. That's what I'm saying. People don't know the podcast shows and everything that people put in behind closed doors. They have no idea of the work that comes into it. But you got, that's what anything that you believe in, you got to put the work into it. If you don't put the work into it, what are you here for? What are you doing it for? What is your purpose? Your purpose can never be, oh, it's just about gaining money, or it's just about gaining followers, or nothing like that. Your purpose has to be, hey, this is what God put in me. This is what I'm getting ready to produce, because I know I have it. Whether I make something or not, for me, whether I make something or not, I'm able to touch people's lives by pouring positive stuff into them. Hey, my thing, look, it's already accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So just keep on to Be Will. You can do it, and you'll have the time to do it or whatever. And I promise you, when you start doing it, you're gonna be surprised how much of a support system you have. See, we see what the right now plan is, but we always gotta look at the overall plan when we start to do something. And with this podcast, I don't just see me starting here. I see myself talking to the Angel Reeses and BGs and hearing their stories or whatever, like the pivot. I love the pivot with Ryan. Because you know what? They let their guests speak. They let their guests speak. The same thing that when K-Sap have his panel and he be having certain people up there, he do it because it's like respect. We need to hear everybody speak up there. Everything don't have to be a back and forth. That's why people missed it when he had Carly Bell on the panel. Yeah, we disagree and agree, right? But the whole purpose of it is we may think different, and that's okay. People are going to say what they want to say, but out of respect, they had her up there. They let her speak. They didn't talk over her. They let her have her road. And then after she finished, hey, I might agree with this. I may not agree with this. That's what you call professionalism, right? And you know, when we go up there and we're going back and forth, it's a different story because we run up there hard. You know what I'm saying? It's sports. You have a passion. So everybody ain't gonna be up there agreeing with, with everything. But when you have special guests up there like that, that's the way you do it. And it takes certain people to be able to do it that way, because some of these shows and some of these podcasts, they don't let their panel speak. They don't let their panel be heard. And then when that panel do start talking, they talk over them. So you miss the whole conversation of what that person had to say. But, that's a work in progress too. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you learn how to start going back to using your manners or whatever and having respect for each other. Look, I may not agree with everything you're doing on your podcast, or I may not agree with everything you're saying, but I'm going to respect you. But one thing I've noticed about the K-Sap community, guys, they are genuine people. What you see is what you get. They are genuine in front and behind closed doors or whatever. They are the most supportive team when it comes to everybody's podcast. If they can't make it, they'll watch the playbacks. And if they busy, like Keisha and Brookline, in case sometimes they be on it Monday through Friday through Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, I'm not mad at you. You got this. You want to eat, you're gonna eat if you work hard. You don't want to eat, then you're gonna deal with them leftovers. And nobody don't want no leftovers. We want the freshness out of the podcasts. You know what I'm saying? We want the original things out of our podcast, and just genuine people. Let me tell you something about genuine people. Genuine people will last you forever. Fake people won't last too long. They only will be with you when you're winning. When you're not winning, you don't see anybody. You don't see anybody or whatever. Okay. Yeah. So that's just, hey, Hog Boss, I'm in here. Look, it's Motivation Saturday, I guess. I'm on a roll. I was telling B Wheeler, Big Girl, I wasn't even gonna come up here today or whatever, stuff like that. So Hog Boss, basically, I was just dropping some gems on the community, just just out of support and motivation for everybody and stuff like that, and letting everybody know what's to come next or whatever. Because I did one show before, it's a short one, and then I saw Miss D, and I wanted Miss D to come up, so I came back up or whatever. But basically, it's just about encouragement. It's just about okay. My son is something else. If he come in here one more time. All right, Colin, see you later. Okay, go. I got Moo Moo. Boy, these sons that's older, boy, don't they be trying to be your no, he don't be trying to be my dad, but he's very like he's so supportive. He a mess now. Don't get it twisted. He go to straight up to a 10, but I got that 911 daddy on that call. I call him, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, he got a good heart and stuff like that. So he's getting ready to go to jiu-jitsu whatever and stuff like that today. But yeah, so we just all overall, guys, just continue to support us. We'll be there for you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna agree and disagree. We're not gonna be on agreements with everything. But one thing I can say that we all agree on when it comes to KSAP and everybody in the community is we stand 10 toes down for each other. I'm not you're not gonna come for a KSAP. You're not gonna come for Brooklyn. You're not gonna come for Bro Clark, you're not gonna come for Keisha. You're not gonna come for Elle. You're not gonna come for Miss D. You're not gonna come for me. You're not gonna come for none of us. You know why? Because we stand 10 toes down for each other. I have returned to center steps for my sons. Big girl, them boys are something else. You hear me, boy? Woo! Y'all talk about AP nurturing and stuff like that, but when they hit, when they hit, you gotta represent. Like, look. But you know what? I want, they gotta be tough. You gotta be tough. And I'm a mom. I can't teach my son how to be tough. That's what his dad is for. That's what his grandfather is for, and stuff like that. But the mom, I'm gonna teach you, look, you're gonna respect, you're gonna nurture, and you're gonna represent, and you're gonna be respectful to the women that you encounter in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with that. But them dads got to look. It's something about them dads. They got it with they don't play. And if the dads are not around, guess what? God will bring a village, and that village don't play. They don't play. They gonna stick with them boys because them boys gotta know, you gotta get them boys right early. Even though, as they get older, they're gonna act up. They're gonna be smelling themselves, as we say, old school, smelling themselves and stuff like that. But for me, I had to learn through, through losing my twin baby or whatever, that I was holding on to him so tight, to my 17-year-old who's 17, and holding on to him so tight where he couldn't breathe. Not saying what he couldn't breathe. Oh, it's not safe to do this, or it's not safe to do that. And then and I would call and say, I'll ask his dad, I'll be like, hey, do you think I'm too hard? Do you think I'm too keeping him inside of a box while holding on to his hand? Because after you lose a child, you be trying to hold on to your children or whatever. And his dad will let me know. That's the thing of having that type of support. Hey, BD, that's the thing of having that type of male support, is that when you talk to them and it's between your children, that they will be like, okay, hey, I think you can give him a little breathing room. He'll be okay. And that's out of respect for me and out of respect for my kids' dads or whatever, and stuff like that. So I always check, because I gotta make sure. I don't want a little puppy son. My sons cannot be little puppies. They got to represent in this world, because it ain't no joke out here, right? So that's why I believe in dads and stuff, or a village of people when it comes to supporting, our kids, especially the boys. Not saying the girls don't need encouragement, but a lot of times as moms, we think that we could be the dads too. I didn't think that. I ain't ever thought that, because I was blessed to have great fathers for my kids, except for the twins, that little one right there. But my other two, they stand 10 toes down for me. We stand 10 toes down for each other when it comes to our kids, even my other kids, and even my boys. Like, they ADP ain't got no problem. You mess with me, and you better be ready. Like, you better be ready or whatever. So that's a blessing too. I don't know how I got into the family life, but hey, that it is what it is, right? So I just want dads to get their respect too, because there are some good dads out there. There are some good dads that sacrifice and stuff like that. So for me, I didn't have a bad experience with my dads. And some people's stories may be different. But that's okay. You had the village, you had that uncle, you had that grandpa, you had that family friend or whatever, to help you as you became older or whatever. And far as my daughter's, like for my daughter, for the girl moms, is you can girls need their dads too. I'm not saying girls don't need their dads, but I'm saying the mom is allowed to be the mom. You know what I'm saying? and you just can't be both parents. You're gonna be the mom and the encourager, and then gotta bring somebody else in to help you, but you can't be the dad. Let me see. Big Girl said the saddest time for me was when my boys told me to let them go because I did all that I could do for them. Big Girl, whoo, right, man. Listen, look, it's hard. You know, I'm a nurturer. I'm a straight up heart person. What you see is what you get. That's why I win them, right? I win them, guys. That look, if something don't work out, it ain't because I ain't genuine or we ain't genuine with each other. It's just that you know what I'm saying. You may go on two separate journeys or whatever the case may be. But it's understandable, big girl. When it comes to that, you have to know. For me, I had to say, people was like, it's okay. And my daughter was like, it's okay, mom. He'll be fine. I was like, you don't see what's out there in the world? I said, because it's sad that you already have to teach your kids. And from day one, especially when they're young, like we don't do no spending nights and nobody house. We don't do that stuff. And I don't bring anybody and everybody around my children, right? And so that type of stuff is okay. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But you have to instill in your kids, hey, I'm talking about young. This person only there's only certain things that mom and daddy can do. These people can't do this. You can't go to everybody's house. You know why? I got to explain to you. 4 and 5 years old, and I'm explaining to you this type of stuff. So, and it, in a respectful way where they understand, and as they grow up, they know the deal or whatever and stuff like that. Because it's crazy out here, but you have to be willing to let go. For me, it's really hard from hating bear, but I've done it and I'm happy. Am I gonna agree on everything that my sons do or my daughter do or whatever? They different from me, guys. They outspoken and stuff. ADP be like, oh, I'm nurturing, loving, all that kind of stuff. My kids, you ask them something, be ready for the truth because it might not be what you think. So, yeah. So, big girl, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You did your thing, and that for them to come and tell you that's a blessing. That lets you know as a mom, you did your thing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, Queen, for being able to do that because it's not easy, especially in this world today. My son, like, he's so ready to drive and stuff like that. I said, let me tell you, before you do anything, go on that YouTube, watch them clips, know what you need to do when you're in that car and nobody else is in that car. When you get stopped, you know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And even though some outcomes are different, you need to know what to do. You know what I'm saying? You need to always make sure, you know what I'm saying? Just simple stuff. And after that, I pray about it, let it go. I let him go out there and do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Because our kids are not going to be perfect. They're going to make mistakes. And there's some things that your kids are going to do that you ain't even going to know about. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to know because there's some stuff you don't know about me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we gotta continue to lift our kids up. You know what I'm saying? I have different testimonies up here, but I haven't had testimonies where I've really talked about, I talked about the love of my kids. But even for moms, the journeys ain't no joke. Coming from a mom, the journeys ain't no joke. And even when the dads speak, when you got Bro Cloud and KSAP, hey AAL 504, you got Bro Cloud and KSAP, they you know what I'm saying, they're dads and stuff, and they can speak from that perspective of raising children and or whatever. And for me, I just can only speak from my mom. So I might drop some testimonies because when you do your testimony, you never know what someone's going through. You never know what someone's been through. And then if they hear you say it, they'll be like, okay, let me thinking about it this way or thinking about it that way. Because, this new generation, you got to come up with all kind of styles and techniques to teach them and to get them right because there's so much out there. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with all that. So the social media, the outlets and stuff, all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And even with that, you guys, my grandbaby will be 3 years old this year. And I don't usually go in nobody's delivery room. You hear me? But when it's about me and mine, I was up in there. I was making sure them doctors had her right. The baby came out. I was right there. You gonna get this stuff together. And even with her, she got a testimony because she almost was in heaven when she had my grandbaby or whatever. But it was that right doctor. Let me tell you. Your kids are going to school. Pray for those educators. Pray for those teachers. Pray for everybody that you encounter that's over your kids or have something to do with your kids, because it makes a difference, guys. Because anything could have happened. I would have had my granddaughter and my baby not be here. You know what I'm saying? But right doctor, right time, because sometimes women, when they have babies and stuff like that, that flow keep coming and coming and coming. So you just gotta make sure. But that's another testimony within itself. But I think because of what I've been through in life, like I had a great dad. I had a great my sister's dad or whatever and stuff like that. But far as like my birth mom or whatever, hey, so pretty. Far as my birth mom and stuff like that's a testimony in itself. So I don't have that. I had to get the mother out of. I didn't have to get the mother out, but it was a village that surrounded me. And the things that people go through, this is where I'm at. This is why I come and support everybody. This is why I am so genuine, because of the things I've encountered and been through. And when you are young and you have either one of your parents, guys, if you had a family member or any one of your parents who was doing drugs, who, you know what I'm saying, didn't really care about their children and did certain things or whatever, then you will understand when you grow up that you love God's people, that you respect God's people, and you be there for God's people, because it wasn't a lot, but it was a few that were there for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why ADP is so genuine. That's why ADP is so loving, because God had put me through that stuff so that I could get to that. From day one, I always been a loving person, but to appreciate people for all walks of life. You might not believe in what I believe in. Does that make you a bad person? No. Am I right? Yes. You will know. ADP puts God first. He's first in my life. But one thing I will not do is put judgment on his people. We all believe in different things, and sometimes we believe in the same thing. But I'm not going to get up here and judge you because of what you believe. I'm not even going to judge you, period. You got to know if you acting up, you got to correct you. Look, you got to get that together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of person. If I can't uplift you, love you, build you up, motivate you, then I don't need to do this podcast. I don't need to be around people. You know what I'm saying? The biggest thing you can do is uplift people, because love, it is a strong word. But the same way you want love from somebody else, you got to get that love out too. And this is where genuine people come in. Do people not like ADP? Did she run into that with teaching and, just different atmospheres? No, yes, I did. But guess what? At the end of the day, whether they like me or not, they had to respect me. We would have like 17 teachers. Out of those 17, I might have one that didn't know who I was and didn't agree or whatever. And that's okay. You're gonna have people in your life that are gonna do you wrong. And that's okay. You know why? Because they don't tell the end of your stories. God will tell you the end of your story, not man. Man can't tell you nothing about the end of your story. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I encourage. That's why I be in that chat. What you see from ADP on that panel and in that chat, that's me. I'm not a fake person. I'm not a pretending person. I'm not a gossip person back and forth. If I got something I need to get to you, we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about it face to face. I did this with my own bosses. I did not come to play. And that's out of respect. You're going to respect me and I'm going to respect you. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to talk to me or treat me any kind of way, right? So I get in there. My bosses, it used to be so funny. They used to be like, I was teaching and my boss said, and Miss Alicia come to me, I know I'm in trouble. I know I done did something wrong, right? Or whatever. And I always say, hey, I don't have a problem with what you say to me. It's just how you say it. And I need to understand what you meant by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be so funny. But sometimes I wasn't getting on my bosses or nothing. I was just like, I say, hey, you know what? I could see they having a sometime a day, and I'd be like, hey, it's okay, you're doing good. One thing about life, you're not going to please everybody, and everybody is not going to be on your train, and you have to know that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody gonna like my podcast. Not everybody gonna follow me. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because I know part of my future. I don't know all my future, because good gracious ball of fire, I'm doing a podcast that I didn't even know and think I could do, or even see myself do it. That's when you know that God takes you outside of the box, outside of your comfort zone. K7 that got me. Look, you see what time it is, right? They got me up here doing these doing these podcasts on D blocks. You know what I'm saying? They motivating. Every time I see Bro Cloud Keisha go live 24/7 like that, I'm like, okay, ADP, you got to get on your grind. You got to get on your grind. You need to drop. Look, if you're not gonna drop no podcast show, you need to drop a artwork. Drop some artwork. That works too, because that's you. Drop an art piece. Do something. You need to post something each day to stay active. If I'm asking God for this, and He's giving it to me, then I have to do it. If I don't do it, what am I asking Him? Asking Him, can I do this for? You know what I'm saying? And it goes back to, sometimes things are not what we think they are. I came up here to do a podcast about sports and my art, but I wind up loving people, meeting family, and stuff like that. That's why I say you cannot mess with K-Sap now. I'm standing 10 toes down. You cannot. Oh, stand up, Mamu. You cannot mess with anybody in that chat. I'm standing 10 toes down for them. Whether I agree or disagree, I'll be up there defending somebody. No, they acting up, guys. No, they done acted up. But guess what? You better back up, because that prayer works. And it ain't no prayer of selfishness, nothing like that. I want everybody to be blessed. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Keep it very simple, because, everybody be like, oh, I'm going to pray for this person. Pray. Guys, be careful about that too. Everybody prays is kind of different. Moo, I'm coming. Yes, baby. Hey, baby.
Otherwise, it's gonna be.
Okay.
Okay. No, okay, so go. Bye.
Okay, bye. And you gotta turn your stuff down so they don't play at me.
Okay, Mom.
He's so full of mess. He know he going to McDonald's to get his French fries, guys. He don't eat no other fries. It's just McDonald's fries, right? So he know what he doing. But that's my little stinker butt. But yeah. So, what did So Pretty Tone say? We love ADP. Faith is the cornerstone of life. Yeah, it is. It is the cornerstone of life. So Pretty Tony, and we gotta no, boo, you can't play that in here. You know what I'm saying? We gotta continue to encourage and uplift, because we want everybody. You know what I'm saying? We want everybody to win. And I just don't want people. I don't want people to think because we don't agree or we don't believe in the same thing that somebody still can't believe in them. If you can't see in the chat, if you can't see on the panel that who I am and the testimony, and let it speak for itself, because I'm not a forceful type of person where I want you to believe everything. I want you to believe everything that I'm saying or where I'm coming from. Sometimes in life it doesn't work that way. I just want to be that person of, hey, you believe in what you believe in, but if you don't see the love of God and the love of testimony and inspiration where I want you to win from me, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And people need to know you don't have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? You know that. Look, you know that through parenting, look, through teaching, woo, like just so many different areas of your life. You're going to know that. You're going to recognize it or whatever. But this was turning out so pretty, Tony. And guys, this turned out where I was coming up here to say what was next for ADP Art Creations. And I wound up talking about so much stuff. I know I hadn't planned to, but hey, sometimes when you don't plan to do something and it's on your heart to do it, you got to come up here and do it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know who's hurting in the chats lately. I can pick up and I can see certain names or whatever. I don't know what. Oh yeah, big girl, go on, my young. Go ahead and send that money for my boo prize, boy. Okay, I tell him he can get some little nuggets to the side, guys. Kason likes chicken nuggets, and you know, with your kids with autism, Sometimes they like certain stuff a certain way. So my boo-boo, look, he liked the chicken nuggets, but guess what? He eat the outside of the chicken nugget and leave the middle, guys. He like the crunchy chicken nuggets or whatever. And stuff like that. Thank you, big girl. We sure appreciate it, girl. You gonna add on to it. He gonna enjoy that. That's 2 days of fries. Yes, Be Will. You do. You do. But Be Will, like for me at this particular time in our life, it's so much stuff going on in the outside world where our people are hurting. They are hurting, and they will come and basketball is their therapy, and through sports is their type of therapy where they can relax. Sports is awesome. It's a great thing. It's more than just our players getting on the court or getting on the field or whatever the case may be to play the game. It's just even when it first started to come on, the game ain't even started yet. It's just the excitement of seeing two teams or people compete against each other, whether it's boxing. I used to be into boxing and stuff, Be Will, too. But then when Mike Tyson left and they started playing with the basketball game, I mean, not basketball, but playing with the boxing and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, okay, let me step back a little bit. And wrestling, too. If you know anything about wrestling, they be pretending and stuff like that. But, hey, used to be into that stuff, too. But if somebody like you, Be Will, you brought that up, I would watch it because I hadn't watched it in a minute or whatever, and stuff like that. I hear about it, but I hadn't watched those certain sports and stuff. But yeah, guys, our people out there, they're hurting, and they come to our podcast. And they come in there, and some of you be like, "Oh, why this person going hard on this topic?" And we going toe for toe. We're not agreeing because you don't never know what they're going through, if they're hurting, and they use their sport. They use the love of sport and the love of the game for what they believe in. Whether they on your ops team or they on your team, they believe in whatever they want to believe in. So they're gonna put their passion and everything going in their life. They're gonna put that in them chats. And you're going to feel it. Sometimes you're going to feel it in them chats. But one thing I can say, at the end of the day, when we in those chats, they come together. And some people going to disagree to the end of the chat. But that's okay. They come right back. And then some days they'll respect that same person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a off and on with the chat and stuff like that. And you can't go to everybody's chat and get genuine love, genuine family, genuine people. You can't get that everywhere. But when you do find it, that's what I noticed in life. People stick to it. My old boss recently, he said, ADP, listen, he was like, my mama always told me, when you meet a genuine person, you need to hold on to them. And genuine people are not all that, guys. We just keep it real. We keep it real, and we don't play. We don't play about our people. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. Sometimes the pay may not add up, but if you're sacrificing for something, like I put my kids first before my job. I know some people don't, but that was what I had to do. So everybody knew my kids came first. So Casey need to go to speech and OT. Hey, I can work these certain days or whatever. If you call me and you want me to come in on them certain days, or after I come back from his appointments, we might could work something out. And sometimes you have to take a pay cut to sacrifice something in life, or to sacrifice for your children. So, that's what I did. Hey, I taught pre-K for 12 and a half years, guys. It's time to pass the torch. I believe in passing the torch. But God had to take me out that comfort zone to pass that torch. And guess what? COVID hit. And I wanted to be able to come home to my family too. And they would send them kids to school sick. And I didn't play that. I walked out 2 more times, and then guess what? They gave me a celebration. Oh, sorry, Casey, don't yell, baby. They gave me a celebration party because I said, I'm getting ready to go. You know what I'm saying? After these 12 and a half years, but it's all in respect. I had to learn though. Being a cheerful giver, you're gonna get some people that gonna come and go, but never blame yourself for being a cheerful giver. Never blame yourself for helping people out. If they didn't appreciate it, if they didn't do you right, that's their loss. You
you know how many times I was like, oh man, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I did this. I poured into the kids. I don't play about kids. I poured into their kids. Hey, if I got it, they had it. If I see my kids got some shoes and you rolling with me, or my students need something, I go and get it. And mind you, I was teaching for the parents that had it like that. But you could get something, a special treat for that student, and that student loved it because they're going through so much because their parents have to work those schedules. They don't have a choice. Some parents didn't have a choice. But I'll be there for my kids when my students had their birthdays, Christmas, whatever. ADP to get them Dollar Tree stuff. She didn't do that. She went to, I would check out Walmart clearance, Carter's clearance, whatever. The same way I love and treat my kids was the same way I poured into those kids. And they always give me the kids that were off the chain too, guys. And I had to work with them too. And guess what? You couldn't say them kids were bad because you got to be careful. This is why educators are great people too. And this is why, as parents, stay involved in your children's education with those teachers and in life, because you don't never know what's going on when you're not there. Pay attention, stay on guard, because if they see you coming up to that school, if they see you popping up, okay, close it, boo-boo. If they see you popping up, or whatever, they ain't gonna mess with that child. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you what I know from the back streets. Make sure you do that for your children. Make sure, even if you don't have the time, email that teacher, call that teacher, and every so often pop up. Because I had a parent, they'd be like, I'm teaching in another class, and they'd be like, Miss Alicia, what do you think about such and such? I said, listen, I can't tell you about such and such. I'm not gonna do that. But what I can do is, if you care that much about your child, if you want to know what's going on, hey, pop up. And if you think that teacher is that teacher, then you have no problems. But if you got any type of doubt, pop up. Go get your child. Pop up. Or whatever. But that's how you got to do, guys. You got to do your thing. And I am going to be next month, September, is when I start selling like visual aids and stuff like that for pre-K and stuff. And just helping parents, because I had 2 in private Christian school, and then I taught pre-K. And when I say teach pre-K, if you know anything about private school, they're always 2 years ahead. So when my kids started kindergarten, they were writing in cursive and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't forced. And that's what I did. When my pre-K students got ready to go to kindergarten, they was already doing 1st and 2nd grade work, because they were doing fact families, they were doing number lines. It all depends on how you do it, what kind of skills you have, because a child can learn anything. And please don't put limits on what your child can learn, and stop letting anybody tell you what your child can and cannot do for us in the learning aspect, because they can do it. They can do it. It's just you have to find different ways of teaching. There's more than one way of teaching. Luke 6:38, give it and it shall be given to you. Good measures, pressed down, shaken over, running over, shall men give into your bosom. Yeah, big girl. I keep toys in my car. I keep toys in my car, or I keep a book in my car. And when I see children, I give it to them. I'll be like, hey, out of respect, for their parents, they'll be like, hey, can such and such have that? You'll be surprised. You don't never know what the parent is going through, what the child is going through, but just that sweet of a gesture, or just telling, going in the stores, hey, you a great mom. You don't even know that lady. You know what I'm saying? But you see she got a child. So just doing stuff like that. We have to be encouragers, because it is so much going on in this world. And let me tell you something about people. They're getting tired, and enough is enough. And when they get tired and start fighting back, we got to be ready to have our helmets on, because it ain't no joke out there. They cut. My son was doing the job where he get out of school, or whatever. They go straight over there. They let him do their homework. But I like the job, his first job, working for the community. And they will pay them or whatever. See what it's like to go to the different neighborhoods that are not like your neighborhood, chipping in to help out with the kids that don't have, right? So guess what? There's it's a lot of cutting programs. And so they cut his program. They cut that program too. So they're cutting a lot of stuff. So that's why I said, well, people, when they're coming into our chat around the world or whatever the case may be, it is so much going on. Everybody may not have it like the next person or whatever and stuff like that. So make sure when you're set to do your podcast and you be like, oh, I'm tired or I don't feel like doing it, still do it. Still do it. Because that might be that parent's therapy. That might help that person when they get going through it. Still do it, guys. I'm telling you, one word can save a person's life. You may not believe it. Oh, I just told this person, just have a nice day. Just telling them to have a nice day makes them feel important because you took the time out to say that. Or in the chat, how are you doing today? It's not hard. When they come in the chat, how are you doing today? Are you okay? And when people speak to you and say hi in the chat, say hi back. It ain't gonna hurt you to say, hi, how are you today? Or you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna hurt you to do that. It costs nothing. It costs nothing to be kind to people, to respect people. I don't care if you get along with that person in chat. Ask them how they doing. And they'll be like, Dad, man, we be going back blow for blow in the chat, but this person just said, hey, how you doing? You'd be surprised. And you'd be surprised why a person is going against you back and forth. You know what I'm saying? That's because they don't know you. They're not familiar of how you flow in the chat or how you flow on the panel. But when they start to see more of you, they'll be like, okay, I can back off now. We about to be cool. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you guys to know that you are loved, you appreciate it. You can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. You can do whatever you put your mind to, and quit letting somebody tell you what you can and cannot have and what you can and cannot do. If you allow man to write your story, then you will not win. Man cannot dictate and tell you what you can have and what's going forward. You got to know and believe who you are. And when you do that, hey, Jonathan, and when you do that, you will see a difference. And some people might not have that energy of building themselves up yet. This is why I say be careful what you say to people and how you say it, because you can be an encourager and help them think different. You can't change a person. A person has to want to change, but you can at least give them solutions and help them out and make them think different. So to all my people in the chat, to the K-South community, I thank you personally. I love you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys in the chat. And I'm going to continue to bring these podcasts. I'm going to continue to talk about the testimony of the players on the court and off the court, because that's very important to me. And that's who I am. So as I speak, you know that, right? So what better thing for ADP to do? Because you got the stats, you got the play-by-plays, you got the breakdown. If you don't understand the WNBA or any type of sport with KSAP, so you have all that. So you're gonna need that nurturing corner. You know what I'm saying? To think, okay, I could, come over here, and I know ADP gonna have a story about somebody. You know what I'm saying? Up there and giving their testimony and stuff like that. Do that make you not be a strong person? No. You can still be a strong person. Sometimes the people that think a person is weak, them be the strongest people, because you don't know the hell they've been through. I'm just sorry you two, but I just had to keep it real for that moment. But I'm just saying you don't. But they come up here and they show up and show out for you every day. They do their podcast. They respect each other and they keep it moving. Is that going to come with haters? Oh, yeah. That's going to come with some jealousy, strife, and envy. But you continue to be you. You continue to push towards the mark, and you'll be all right. You'll succeed. Guys, I want you to have a blessed day. I think Players Club is doing the game today. I don't know. We had so many times. I know somebody can ready to go down and do something today. And I know tomorrow, we got Miss D. We're gonna support Miss D. We're gonna support everybody, guys. So Pretty Tony, we got you. When you get ready and do yours, we coming over there. We are together, and that's all y'all need to know. Whatever else we got cooking in the pot, you can't tell everybody everything, because everybody ain't for you. And before you can sometimes get your juice out or produce your content, they be already talking down on it, or they already be talking against it, or they got something to say. Forget what they got to say. Know your worth. Know who you are. Produce that content. They don't like it, go somewhere else. They don't appreciate you, go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop doing you. Don't stop coming to these chats. Don't stop coming to these podcasts if it's for you. And what better place to come than the K-Side community? Because guess what? We got you. We got you. We may talk our little mess, and sometimes others may come off a little stronger, but that's because that it may be an area in your life that you have to grow on that you ain't got there yet. I can't be Drake in my feelings, even though I'm a nurturer and stuff. Sorry, Drake, but I'm just saying I'm a Kendrick. I can't be doing all that, guys. I got to support the people too, so I got to love it and have a little strength up in there. But guys, have a great Saturday, okay? And I'm gonna join the chats later on in whoever do the different podcasts. And I gotta get Case into the playground and go get his fries from Big Girl. Thank you, so pretty. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.